help us understand, what are you factoring in for the markets tomorrow? How do you anticipate the markets to react tomorrow? Clearly, it's going to be red. It's going to be in the red territory. But what kind of, a percentage point cut are you anticipating when the markets open tomorrow?
Well, on a gap down perspective, it's hard to say, maybe a percentage or two. So the thing is that clearly markets had already been factoring some amount of correction. So all external oriented sectors like pharma, IT, and the like were already under pressure in the markets. So how much more room is there for them to fall? But more than just the external sectors, I think this is the whole thing puts the entire Indian relationship with US in the tizzy. So it's going to affect the whole market. And I think that FIIs are probably the ones that we have to watch out for on how badly they take this and start pulling out money. And if passive funds see outflows, this could be a pain, a market-wide pain, rather than just on the tariff-impacted sectors, because passive funds invest across the index. So as you know, the banking sector, for example, is about 30% of the large cap index. So there could be pressure right across the market. Clearly, this is very unpleasant news, unexpected news, and it's not something that's going to get easily resolved, because as things stand, Mr. Ajit Doval is in Russia talking. PM has just agreed to visit Shanghai for the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So clearly, this is also a larger BRICS thing at play now. So it's going to take quite some time to solve it. I don't know whether the US delegation was supposed to be coming on the 23rd of August to come over, whether that visit is still on in the light of these punitive tariffs. So a lot of things are up in the air, which we need clarity on as the day goes by tomorrow.
Absolutely, Mr. Subramaniam. We'll have to see what really comes up, and I'd request you to stay on the broadcast with us. We're also joined by Narendra Taneja. He's a leading energy expert. He's joining us on the phone line. Thank you very much, Mr. Taneja, for joining us. What do you make of these announcements that have come in? In fact, a 25% additional penalty has been imposed upon India. But do you think that there could be room for negotiation as far as this 25% penalty is concerned? Or do you think this could be for a protracted period of time?
Well, it looks like, first of all, I'm not surprised. Knowing President Trump and how he works and, makes policies and makes announcements and then signs executive order and so on and so forth. So there is no big surprise in it. The question is, India's worry is not actually the availability or supply of oil. India's worry is always the price. And second thing is that, when it comes to oil deals, all oil deals are, done a bit in advance. Even if you're going by other spot market, deals are generally done at least 5 to 6 weeks, sometime even 2 months in advance, which means that, ships which are going to bring Russian oil or for that matter oil from any other geography, the agreements, have been in place already in June or in May and so on and so forth. So that's one aspect. Second, we have to understand that from America alone, if you look at the data of last 7 months, India's oil imports from America have gone up by 70%. And if at this rate by December, it would have actually imports would go up by almost 150%. So India is trying what India can do. But at the same time, I think if you go by the statement released by the Ministry of External Affairs 48 hours ago, is very clear the stand that India has already taken and conveyed to the United States and to the world at large. Our Prime Minister is going to China. Our NSA is in Moscow. Foreign Minister is likely to visit Moscow very soon. So a lot of things are changing. And at the same time, President Trump's special envoy on Ukraine is in Moscow talking with President Putin. So there's a lot is going on. But the fact is that at the same time, if you go by the sentiments, in New Delhi, India is more or less prepared now. We know what might happen. And accordingly, one thing is clear, India is not going to compromise on its strategic autonomy, which means that President Trump can try what he wants to do. But at the same time, India is going to basically do whatever is in the national interest. But that said, at the same time, whatever efforts India can make in order to buy more products from the United States, including crude oil and LNG, the efforts are already on in that direction. You see, when it comes to Russian oil, Indian companies buy Russian, it's not love. It's no love for Russia. It's all economics. So if President Trump can ask American companies to sell oil to India at the same rate that Russians do, I'm sure Indian refiners will go and buy from the U.S. So it's economics. He got to understand it.
Right. We're also joined by Ajay Sahai, DG and CEO, Federation of Indian Export Organizations. Mr. Sahai, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast today. First up, can I get your inputs and your reactions to what is widely being seen as a bit of a tariff shocker yet again? If the first one wasn't bad enough, this seems to have almost compounded the problem now. Do you think this puts the Indian side in a spot really, in keeping with this continuous barrage of tariffs from President Trump?
50% tariff on Indian goods will totally outprice us in the US market. Most of our competitors are having a tariff of 15 to 20%. We will have an additional tariff of 30 to 35%, and in none of the business you have that kind of profit to absorb them. So virtually, in a way, we are looking into impact of Indian exports significantly. The good thing is that which under Section 232, they continue to be exempted by this 25% tariff also. So roughly 45% of India's exports will not be impacted. Balance 55% of the export will be severely impacted because absorbing 30% duty or so is something which is almost impossible in any of the sector.